What it do, bruh? Talk of the town, Nintendo, Doc Trey, still holding it down, still make the best games, and you know this, bro. It's the truth. You don't like it, you can have that seatbelt. Okay, so the inevitable is upon us, ladies and gentlemen. Fellow Nintendo Switch owners and people that should be owning a Nintendo Switch, but you're hating. The time has come. The time has finally come to invest in a freaking SD card for your Nintendo Switch. Now, we all knew that this was coming. We all knew. Like, people could sit there and pretend like they didn't know and that they got caught with their pants down. Like, the moment they announced that small storage on the Switch, you knew that you were probably going to need to buy an SD card. Now, unless you're a gamer on the Nintendo Switch that doesn't buy any third-party games for your Nintendo systems, which shame on you. Shame on you. You're part of the problem. But anyway, unless you're one of those that only buys first-party games, you wouldn't have to really worry too much about that SD card right now, because Nintendo published games for the most part have pretty small file sizes, so it's going to last you a while. But for the rest of us that actually buy third-party games on our Nintendo systems, we knew that we were going to need an SD card eventually. Now, for the people that are digital only, I mean, nigga, you should already have a SD card, so we're not even going to talk about y'all. So for the rest of us, yes, the time has come, but we already knew this from the get-go. We knew, but we were just waiting until we actually really needed one. Meanwhile, the prices of the cards continue to drop, and I mean, they will continue to drop. Now, the moment that Nintendo announced a partnership with the freaking SD card company, that should have told you right there, there's going to be at least quite a handful of games that require more storage. Now, the wording of this seems to be kind of confusing to people. They're saying on the box that the game may require an SD card, assuming that you don't have the amount of storage to cover the initial download of the game. For example, if you buy just a Switch with just a copy of NBA 2K18, no, you're not going to need to buy an SD card with that, because you're going to have 32 gigs full or free of memory, right? So no, that particular person would not need an SD card yet. But for the other people that have quite a few games on there already, I mean, of course you will. Now, the thing that is kind of confusing to me or irritating to me is the fact that the first game with this disclaimer actually does not use the highest capacity Nintendo Switch card available. Now, it's been found that the actual file size of NBA 2K18 on the Nintendo Switch is around 25 gigs. The largest capacity Nintendo Switch cart available is 32 gigs, but only one game uses that, which is Dragon Quest Heroes, and that's kind of weird. That probably means that the disparity in price between the, say, 16 gig and the 32 gig carts must be pretty substantial for them to not just go with that cart, or they don't want to eat into their profits. Now, a lot of you guys are probably saying, oh, well, they should just eat the cost, 2K I mean, and just bite the bullet and just release it, right, in a 32 gig cart. Now, I can see why they wouldn't want to risk this. One, if they did go with the 32 gig cart, and if it is that much more than a 16 gig, which it looks like 2K is actually using on the Switch. It's using a 16 gig cart, and then the additional 9 gigs will be the download, right? So honestly, you'll probably only have to have 9 gigs available of storage on your Switch in order to complete the download of the full game. Now, if they were to go with the 32 gig and then tried to charge more money than the other versions, we all saw what happened with that with the Switch already. Everybody was bashing the publisher and all of that stuff, and honestly, it wouldn't look too good on 2K. But I honestly couldn't blame them. Honestly, I couldn't blame them for, if the cost difference is that significant, for going with the smaller cart, because let's be honest here. We don't know how well, or they didn't know, because honestly, they started the development way before this system came out. They didn't know how successful the Nintendo Switch is going to be. And there's no guarantee that the game will actually sell well, even though I think it will, because it looks really quality. It looks quality, but there's no guarantee that this game is going to sell super well. So if they put out a game where they were actually, you know, losing money or being less profitable than they would be on another system, and it tanked, they'd probably be pretty pissed off. Pretty pissed off. So honestly, I think they kind of went the smart route with that, because as much as we don't want to admit it, we were always gonna need to buy an SD card. Like it was inevitable. Now, for the Xbox and PlayStation fanboys probably out there laughing, stand down, nigga. Y'all gotta delete, and download crap all the time, despite having a huge hard drive on your systems. And I know this from freaking experience. It's funny that Nintendo of all companies is the one that came out with the clean out the fridge, and you got to do that crap more on Sony and Microsoft systems than Nintendo's. That's crazy. So if you don't know what I mean, even though like the PlayStation, like I got the OG PlayStation 4, 500 freaking gig hard drive, yet these games are so freaking large that you can only keep a few games on them without having to delete that to put another game on it. For example, I was just download the big long Call of Duty World War II beta, just a limited multiplayer beta that was over 20 freaking gigs. And I couldn't download it because I had to go delete some stuff. And I went and checked. I was like, man, I don't have that many games saved on this system. There was only 6 freaking games saved on the system. 500 gigs, only 6 games, YouTube app, and a Netflix app, and the WWE Network. That's it. And it was full. You serious? So people are also pretending like you can't do the same delete and download thing on the Switch, but it's whatever. But I'm hoping that these larger capacity carts get a little bit cheaper in the future, so that developers will start using them more. I don't know if the bid for parts that's actually affecting the Nintendo Switch stock, their components right now is also affecting their carts, and maybe that's why. Maybe they're kind of scarce. I don't know, but hopefully in the future the price of the 32 gig and beyond carts are a lot cheaper than they are now, so that we can have less to download. But downloads are inevitable. Like I said in my video before, when I was going in on Nintendo about having this low storage, even if we had games that you didn't have to download anything, when it came to DLC and updates, we were still gonna need one anyway. like we were gonna need one for DLC and all that crap anyway. So we were always from the moment they announced that storage space, no matter what size cart they used, we were always going to need an SD card eventually. And now the time has come. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section. What kind of SD card do you already have, or what kind do you plan to buy? Let me know in the comment section. Like,